his death in 1989, Andrei Sakharov's comments at a scientists' forum helped begin the process for the elimination of thousands of nuclear ballistic missiles from the US and Soviet arsenals. Sakharov, 1921-1989, was recruited into the Soviet Union's nuclear weapons program in 1948, a year after he completed his doctorate. In 1949 the US detected the first Soviet test of a fission bomb, and the two countries embarked on a desperate race to design a thermonuclear hydrogen bomb that was 1,000 times more powerful. Like his US counterparts, Sakharov justified his H-bomb work by pointing to the danger of the other countries achieving a monopoly. But also, like some of the US scientists who had worked on the Manhattan Project, he felt a responsibility to inform his country's political leadership and then the wider world about the dangers from nuclear weapons. 68. Sakharov's first attempt to influence policy was brought about by his concern about possible genetic damage from long-lived radioactive carbon-14 created in the atmosphere from nitrogen-14 by the enormous fluxes of neutrons released in H-bomb tests. 69. In 1968, a friend suggested that Sakharov write an essay about the role of the intelligentsia in world affairs. Self-publishing was the method at the time for spreading unapproved manuscripts in the Soviet Union. Many readers would create multiple copies by typing with multiple sheets of paper interleaved with carbon paper. One copy of Sakharov's essay, Reflections on Progress, Peaceful Coexistence, and Intellectual Freedom, was smuggled out of the Soviet Union and published by the New York Times. More than 18 million reprints were produced during 1968-69. After the essay was published, Sakharov was barred from returning to work in the nuclear weapons program and took a research position in Moscow. 68. In 1980, after an interview with the New York Times in which he denounced the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, the government put him beyond the reach of Western media by exiling him and his wife to Gorky. In March 1985, Gorbachev became General Secretary of the Soviet Communist Party. More than a year and a half later, he persuaded the Politburo, the party's executive committee, to allow Sakharov and Borna to return to Moscow. Sakharov was elected as an opposition member to the Soviet Congress of People's Deputies in 1989. Later that year he had a cardiac arrhythmia and died in his apartment. He left behind a draft of a new Soviet constitution that emphasized democracy and human rights. 69. Notable accidents. On the 5th of February, 1958, during a training mission flown by AB-47, a Mark 15 nuclear bomb, also known as the Tybee bomb, was lost off the coast of Tybee Island near Savannah, Georgia. The U.S. Air Force maintains that bomb was unarmed and did not contain the live plutonium core necessary to initiate a nuclear explosion. 70. The bomb was thought by the Department of Energy to lie buried under several feet of silt at the bottom of Warsaw Sound. 71. On the 17th of January, 1966, a fatal collision occurred between a B-52G and a KC-135 Stratotanker over Palomares, Spain. The conventional explosives in two of the Mk-28 type hydrogen bombs detonated upon impact with the ground, dispersing plutonium over nearby farms. A third bomb landed intact near Palomares while the fourth fell 12 miles, 19 kilometers, off the coast into the Mediterranean Sea and was recovered a few months later. 72. On the 21st of January, 1968, a B-52G, with 4 B-28 thermonuclear bombs aboard as part of Operation Chrome Dome, crashed on the ice of the North Star Bay while attempting an emergency landing at Thule Air Base in Greenland. 73. The resulting fire caused extensive radioactive contamination. 74. Personnel involved in the cleanup failed to recover. All the debris from 3 of the bombs, and 1 bomb was not recovered. 75 variations. Ivy Mike. In his 1995 book Dark Sun, The Making of the Hydrogen Bomb, author Richard Rhodes describes in detail the internal components of the Ivy Mike sausage device, based on information obtained from extensive interviews with the scientists and engineers who assembled it. According to Rhodes, the actual mechanism for the compression of the secondary was a combination of the radiation pressure, foam plasma pressure, and temperature ablation theories described above. The radiation from the primary heated the polyethylene foam lining of the casing to a plasma, which then re-radiated radiation into the secondary's pusher, causing its surface to ablate and driving it inwards, compressing the secondary, igniting the spark plug, and causing fusion reaction. The general applicability of this principle is unclear. 14. W88. In 1999, a reporter for the San Jose Mercury News reported that the US W88 nuclear warhead, a small moved warhead used on the Trident II SLBM, had a prolet, egg or watermelon-shaped, primary, code-named Komodo, and a spherical secondary, code-named Cursor, inside a specially shaped radiation case, known as the peanut for its shape. The value of an egg-shaped primary lies apparently in the fact that a MIRV warhead is limited by the diameter of the primary. If an egg-shaped primary can be made to work properly, then the MIRV warhead can be made considerably smaller yet still deliver a high-yield explosion. A W88 warhead manages to yield up to 475 kilotons of TNT, 1,990 TJ, with a physics package 68.9 inches, 1,750 millimeters, long, with a maximum diameter of 21.8 inches, 550 millimeters, and by different estimates weighing in a range from 175 to 360 kilograms, 386 to 794 pound. 76. The smaller warhead allows more of them to fit onto a single missile and improves basic flight properties such as speed and range. 77. See also Polex process, isotopic separation. History of the Tellur-Ulam design. Nuxmap. Pure fusion weapon. Notes. The misleading term
Good. Let's delete. I will read this next, but I need the shaving and the shower. I not remember all this, and I'm very sleepy. I'm very sleepy in the morning. Every day I'm very, very sleepy. But I'm still very sleepy. And I've been feeling sick. I'm sneezing. I think I have catch cold. I not understand all this, but I like to read it and not remember all this. And now I need to drink some cola. So I will need a shower and a shaving. That's what I'm going to do. So, but I like to read it, even I not understand it. Some I understand, something not. So, but I like to try learning something new. And I've not been reading books for like 20 years. So now I read Wikipedia. So I will upload this. Then I need that I need a shower and a shaving.